I'm headed over to my cousin Janet's house right now, and we're going to take a ride in the Sippi Queen. There's an old Methodist church, I think it's Methodist, out in the country, and I'm hoping we can access the property because it's a really cool, beautiful, old country church. And you don't always see standalone buildings as such. So we're going to go for a ride and go visit the church, and we'll see what we find out together.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun.
Does your antenna go up and down?
Feeling with change. I'm wide awake. Take me away now.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is. I just can't believe
You're good.
Okay. I can't believe somebody still has a car like this.
It's like today's SUV,
Yeah.
you know, and they just end up in the junk pile and ratted out and roached. And this thing's from Indiana, so you know, cars up there got the damage because of snow.
The snow and all the salt on the roads. Yep.
It's 18 feet long.
It is. I mean, look how long the hood is. How do you see when to stop when you park?
You just got to make an estimate.
What kind of gas mileage? Have you tried it yet?
You know, it's not great. It's probably about 18 miles to the gallon.
That's not too bad.
You know, and it's really kind of my put around weekend car. And the air conditioning doesn't work, so that's why I'm trying to get as many rides as I can before the summer starts, because it's just so bloody hot.
Seriously, when I bought my first car, which is when I graduated from college.
And what kind of car was it?
A blue Ford Pinto. And my dad co-signed the loan. I had just gotten signed my contract for my first teaching job. And I was going to Georgia. But Daddy was stationed in Ohio. And I stupidly bought a car with no air conditioner and moved to Georgia.
What year was the Ford Pinto?
It was in the summer of 1976. I was trying to think. Four speed. Because I tried to teach my brother before I left how to drive a 4-speed.
Oh yeah, stick shift, baby.
Because he had been in the Philippines and couldn't drive over there when he was teenage, you know.
Right.
I guess he was like the second part of his freshman year in high school. They moved over there and he finished over there. And so to get his driver's license, they just drove around a racetrack. And so he came back and Dad insisted that he learn how to drive one, because I learned how to drive. Daddy had a Ford Fairlane shrimp pink and white. That was his car to go to work so Mother could have it. And then when we moved to the Philippines, there had been somebody that he had known that he had been stationed with or worked with there in Ohio, and he was missing in action, Vietnam War. And so he gave the car to the oldest boy in that family so they'd have a car. It was a sweet little ride, though.
Wow. Okay, but so in the Philippines, I don't understand why you can't, or is it just Americans?
It was martial law. No.
Okay.
Martial law. Ferdinand Marcos was in power. So you couldn't, I guess it might have just been that the U.S. government didn't want you driving, and so we had a driver. And if your driver wasn't taking you, you catch a bus or a cab or a jeepney and do stuff around town like that. But you know, you had to be in by midnight. Everybody. Mother had a Ford Pinto. It was kind of a limey green, yellowy car, and it was automatic though. And so they gave him a car. I had to buy my first car. And I think my payments were like $80 a month. So I worked at McDonald's as a hostess.
Well, wait. Stop. McDonald's had a hostess?
At McDonald's in Ohio. This was in Dayton, because when Daddy got transferred back to the States and went back to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, they bought a house, first house they ever bought, and it was in Dayton. And so I worked at a McDonald's, and I would greet people in the morning and refill their coffees and hand them newspapers. And
yep, what a world has changed from that.
Oh, I mean, to tell you. And so that was my job, and that's how I made my $80 a month to make my car payment. But it was fun. It was fun.
A couple of years ago, I was in Columbus, Ohio, for a friend's 50th birthday. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, I really want you to, I got a surprise for you. I'm like, okay, because, yeah, sure. So we pull into this Wendy's. He's like, this is the very first Wendy's. I was so excited. I was like, are you kidding me? The first Wendy's? You brought me to the first Wendy's? And he's like, I knew you were going to be the only person that would be excited about that.
Well, I know.
Oh, I was hoping we could get up there, but was it padlocked?
It looked like it was.
Girl, let me back up. I got 18 feet.
The floors have got to be original. Look at this, got where the wood is chipped away, rotted away, cracks. Easy, isn't it? It really is. The cross, I presume it goes right there, and it is an old rugged cross.
See, this whole rugged cross would hang right here, but I don't know how they would hang it. But it's cool as all get out. It's a beautiful cross. Oh.
It's just so cool. I just love old stuff. And here in this country, this is old. When you don't, it's not like Europe.
What year was it built?
1833.
Wow. Look at the shutters.
I know.
I mean, I would think the shutters would come open. I kind of feel guilty that we're in here. But it was unlocked.
Mississippi heritage.
And it was unlocked.
It was unlocked.
What do you think about your first Sippi experience?
Oh, I loved it. I thank you so much for bringing me out here and us discovering this neat old place that we have.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
It really is. And just to think, 1833.
And it's just right around the corner.
I know. Just right here.
It's like in our
In Madison,
backyard.
that's right. There's probably so many things around Mississippi that people never see like this.
Well, or, just in Madison County.
Yeah.
And we're so blessed that
We are. It's just so beautiful.
let's go home.
Okay.
I'm sorry we didn't film it, but we just almost stepped on the black racer here in this cemetery. Interesting is look how they're trying to protect it with the silver.
Yeah. Well, it broke, it looks like.
And that bad boy took off, and he had to be at least 3 feet long. I think I screamed more than Janet, but I'm not sure. Janet, you sounded like a little girl.